go over the next chapter. Chapter 14, Week 7. So that Monday morning was rough on Eriko. Normally she can tough it out, walk it off. However, she couldn't even walk to her door. So she took out her cell phone, texted Kim, apologizing for calling in sick, and asking if there was anything she could do on her own to control the pain she was experiencing. Kim texted back that they're on their way. As soon as Pedro arrived, he started the next physical therapy session. An hour later, Eriko felt better. At this time, Shannon started her next acupuncture treatment, and Callie the cat stayed by her side. After the treatment, Pedro gave her a TENS machine, a transcutaneal electrical nerve stimulation machine, and a far infrared heating pad. After he told her that he'll check in on her at the end of the day, he excused himself. Since she had the entire day to herself, she started with breakfast. Next, she spent the rest of the morning resting and focusing on her breathing. As she slowly woke up, she realized what she needs to do. After lunch, she alternated between studying for the college entrance exams and using her computer to learn more about endometriosis. During her research, she learned that there's an endometriosis association in Osaka, Japan. She made a mental note to talk about the disease as well as how Japan is treating this condition. Mainly, she wanted to learn whether or not they're taking the Western approach, such as surgery, or are they taking a more holistic approach, such as this clinic. When she needed a break from the study, she turned on the television set, watched some cooking shows. All of a sudden, she wondered how she can adjust her cooking to reduce the severity of her symptoms. And in looking at the food packaging, she remembered what happened in Sylvester, Italy. She wondered what's in her physical environment that might worsen her condition. Again, she made a mental note to ask the staff about their questions. At this time, she amended her letter to Kaoru. It was not obvious what Kaoru was doing, and it had to stop. She told Kaoru, actually, she didn't tell, right? She wrote, let me fix this. She wrote to Kaoru that their uncles and aunts are angry at their father for doing whatever he wants. As a result, they see that Kaoru is the same way. So she needs to make sure they don't make the same mistake. Eriko is sending back both of Kaoru's letters. Moving forward, Kaoru is not to write her any more letters. Instead, Kaoru is to have their uncle and aunt in the room and use their cell phone whenever they need to talk to Eriko. She ended with, quotes, "Love you, Eriko." After she went downstairs, she put her mail in the outgoing mailbox. She returned to her apartment to do some more research. She wondered whether or not there may be a connection with food and endometriosis. She came across information about Diane Shepperson Mills. I have her book right here, right next to me. I know you can't see it, but she has an advanced degree in nutrition and has endometriosis. Mrs. Mills wrote a book titled Endometriosis, A Key to Healing Through Nutrition. She made a mental note to go to the library the following day. Hopefully they had that book so she can check it out. While she was recovering, she heard a knock on the door. When she opened her door, Pedro and Kim went to her apartment. Eriko started by thanking Pedro and Kim for showing her what healthcare could look like. She explained that her hometown is mostly hospitality. That means most people work at or below minimum wage. And the healthcare in her hometown is dismal at best. Either the healthcare professionals talk down to their patients, or they don't listen to their patients and increase the dosage of the prescription medicine, much to the detriment of their patient's health. Even when doctors speak the patient's language, the patients know that they're part of the establishment and don't trust them. Pedro and Kim gasped and covered their mouth. Eriko continued by saying that her goal with this internship is to help the people of her hometown. She wants them to see that there are professionals who genuinely want to improve the quality of life, even if that means doing nothing. Moreover, there aren't any specialists in her hometown. This doesn't necessarily mean a surgeon who will make money from people who will never be able to afford their surgical knowledge and skills. Her hope is that a wellness center like this one will convince the existing professionals to talk to their patients at their level and focus more on their quality of life, not their own pocketbook. She concluded that she realizes that she's taking on a monumental task. However, she feels that she can bring the right people together, and she reassured them that she will work at this clinic for as long as they need her. After Pela regains composure, um, let's see. After Pela regains composure, he told her that he'll have her focus more on what it's like to be a patient here, so she can get to know each person, not just each staff person, not just their role. First thing Tuesday morning, Erica went downstairs to get blood work done to see what toxins she has, if any, are in her system, and start her on a detox treatment. After she ate breakfast, she packed a lunch, went to the clinic. Starting that day, she ate lunch at the clinic's break room. Not surprisingly, the clinic's senior nutritionist also packed a lunch. So when she talked with her about Ms. Mill's book, their eyes lit up. They suggested starting a food diary and listing symptoms they experienced at each day. They also said they'll start a research project on their progress. When Erica thanked her, she corrected, "No, thank you." So, let's see. After lunch, the studio was busy with editing their latest film, preparing for the next episode of their television show showcasing local businesses. When Erica was able to steal herself away to get to the piano room, she started playing the chords. Before she knew what was going on, she ended up using the piano lesson as therapy. At this time, the piano teacher walked in and told her about musical therapy. When Erica replied that she was in air quotes the zone, the teacher asked whether or not she has an electronic keyboard at home. She replies that she does. The teacher advised her to get it so she can practice on her own. She said that she would do so. This time she made a mental note to get it the next time she visits her father. At this time, Maria Pollock walked in and apologized for eavesdropping. Maria suggested adding her piano practice to her demo tape. This would be up for college admissions application. And Jonathan lurked in the doorway and offered to help Erica set up the camera and help her with the editing process. Erica apologized for stopping everyone's work and offered to return to that day's piano lesson, and Maria and Jonathan excused themselves so the teacher could move forward with the lesson plan. The final hour was spent with the next driving lesson. After they parked at the library, much to her relief, the library did have a copy of Ms. Mill's book on the shelf. Also, on the whim, she looked for a book on grant writing. Two separate words. Fortunately, there was one on the shelf near the self checkout machine, so she checked that one out as well. Next, she went to the grocery store. She went to get some brown sugar, plant-based sugar substitutes, brown rice, assorted nuts. In addition, she added cold-pressed oil for cooking as well as certified organic fresh fruits and vegetables. Next day, she and Jonathan did a test run of recording her practicing the piano while she was in the zone. They made certain that Erica does the recording herself. Much to her embarrassment, she didn't realize that she put her hand in front of the camera lens as she walked around it. However, Jonathan told her leave it in since it's proof that she did all the work herself. Erica looked perplexed but let it go. Mary chimed in regarding a skit they could add to the demo tape. Erica thought carefully about this since she was planning to show this demo tape to her relatives in Japan. After Erica thought about what she could talk about, she told a story about her own childhood that isn't full of anger and bitterness. When she was growing up, they had neighbors, Mr. and Mrs. Aaron Whitlock. They met while the mother was learning English at a local community college, so she called the husband Aaron-san. In Japanese, san is usually added at the end of the person's last name, such as Sasaki-san. Calder did not know that their actual last name is Whitlock, so Calder kept calling the couple Mr. and Mrs. Aronson. Almost immediately, Jonathan, who was part Japanese Hawaiian, laughed out loud. His wife, Marina Mori, who is the studio's attorney, looked and asked what was so funny. After Jonathan repeated Erica's story, she laughed as well. After they regained their composure, Jonathan offered to set up the stage to look like a comedy club and will record Erica at that stage. So they spent the rest of the week setting it up, doing some practice runs. On Friday, they had a staff meeting, the clinic, where Erica explained more about what's happening in her hometown. As she continued to present her ideas, the staff took copious amounts of notes. They also asked for clarification as well. Before she left for the studio, the clinic got the results of her blood work. She has lead, mold, and a trace amount of asbestos in her system. As a result, she started detoxification the following week. That Saturday, Pedar took her to her first college entrance exam. She did more than her best. However, she focused on studying smarter. Um, she realized that she needs to focus on studying smarter. That way, her next attempt will be better. After the exam, she called him on her cell. When she told Pedar, he told her that he would look for a private tutor to help her out. After they ate lunch at a nearby restaurant, he took her to the library where a private tutor was waiting for them. Pedar told her to call him when she's ready to be picked up. After she nodded, they started the first lesson. So, on Sunday, after services, Eriko showed Chiaki her library book. Although Chiaki said that they're not much of a reader, their mother immediately grabbed the book, wrote down the name of the author, title of the book, address of the publisher. She said that she'll order it and gave Chiaki the Cliff Notes version. After she gave the book back to Eriko, they started the second cooking lesson, Kimpinagobo. Rather than the usual white sugar, they substituted brown sugar instead. After serving it in individual rice bowls, they all said, "Itadakimasu," thank you for the meal. They ate. Needless to say, it was delicious. Chiaki was at first apprehensive about using brown sugar. However, after they took a bite, they were sold. Since there were plenty of leftovers, everyone took some to their home. On their way home, Eriko politely asked Pedar to take her to the grocery store. There, she bought the rest of the ingredients that were in Miss Mill's book, including different kinds of beans, oatmeal, garlic, herbal tea, honey, fish, etc. When she took her groceries upstairs, Shannon surmised that Eriko was starting a new nutrition regimen. After Eriko gave her a list of things she has in her apartment that might be making her symptoms worse, Shannon offered to take those off her hands since Shannon doesn't have any problem with any of those ingredients. So after Eriko thanked her, they proceeded to detox her refrigerator and pantry. After Shannon excused herself, Eriko proceeded to follow some of the recipes in Ms. Mill's book. That evening, she got a text from Kalu that only said, air quotes, okay. Although she wasn't exactly certain what that meant, Kalu did not send Eriko any more distressing letters. Instead, Kalu picked up the phone, called her instead, so her message was received and understood. As always, constructive criticisms, comments, questions, asking for clarifications, let me know in the comments below, and I shall see you next time. Take care.